Alrighty, just waiting on to see if we get anybody in here, and then we're gonna go live. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Got a lot to talk about. There's fights to review, fights to preview. We got a whole mess of news, and then we're gonna talk about the Strawweight Division and what's been going on with it. And we finally got some more activity coming up, but we'll see. So we'll go. I'll wait till about a minute in, and then we'll go live. I kind of sprung this on everyone short notice. Didn't put the notice up till almost 7 p.m. and it's 10 p.m. now. So we'll see. If I end up talking to myself, I'll just talk to myself. All right, screw it. We're going live. We'll do it live. All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson. Welcome to episode number 119 of the WMMA Report regular show, where I go over everything going on within the world of the women's divisions of mixed martial arts, previews, news, reviews, rankings, updates, you name it. We're going to talk about it in this show, usually an hour or less. So, without further ado, we got, like I said, we got a lot to go in. Bipolar Express, welcome to the show. Hi there. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. First off, we're going into the reviews of last weekend's fights. First off, we're going to France for Aries FC3. So first up, in the Flyweight Division, Alexandra Tekina on left there defeated Iris Marmoset via KO, 3 minutes, 9 seconds of the first round. Congratulations to Tekina on a successful pro debut. Got like 10,000 euros bonus for KO of the night as well. So good for her. Then also at flyweight, up Ivana Siric defeated Dorota Noric via TKO due to ground and pound. Also in the first round. Nice fight. Nice finish there for Ivana Siric as well. So we had two ladies bouts at Aries FC3 and 2 first round finishes. I love it. Then moving on, UFC Fight Night, Hermanson versus Strickland was on Saturday. We had one ladies bout in the bantamweight division. Alexis Davis defeated Yulia Stolyarenko via unanimous decision. Nice performance there for Alexis Davis. Bit of a vintage style performance from her. Stolyarenko, man, she's just outside that level, I think, of the UFC. I think she needs to go back down to Invicta maybe for some more seasoning. What else do we have? And then on Sunday, we had FAC 12. We had an atomweight bout. Elle Wagman there on the left defeated Christina Christ. Topology hasn't been updated, so I don't have a method, but I do remember that Elle Wagman defeated Christina Christ. Other than that, I haven't actually had time to watch it, but this fight is on UFCFightPass.com if you want to go watch it. That's FAC 12, which stands for Fighting Alliance Championship. So that is your weekend review. So we're going to move on into the news because I've got about a page and more to go over. So let's get into it. So first up, LFA 125 goes down February 25th. They've added a strawweight title bout. Lovett Young is going to be taking on Jackie Amarim. Both ladies, I think, are 2-1 as a pro, something like that. And yeah, safe to say that the winner of this bout gets called up to the UFC on short notice or gets a contender spot or a spot on the contender series, whichever happens first. Just seems to be how it works for the LFA Strawweight Championship. Then next up, we have Fairtex fight goes down March 12th at Lumpini Stadium in Bangkok. They added an atomweight bout, Noelle Grandjean taking on Anita Karim. If you're not familiar with Anita Karim, her nickname is the Arm Collector for a good reason. And then Eternal MMA 65 goes down March 19th in Australia. They added a strawweight bout, Jacinta Austin taking on Alice Smith. And I believe that should be on Fight Pass as well. I know Eternal used to be on Fight Pass. Not sure if they still are or not. Oh, they also have a bantamweight bout. Robin O'Neill, the younger sister of UFC Flyweight Casey O'Neill, is going to be taking on Beck Southgate. Both ladies are going to be making their pro debut. And if you look up the picture, Robin O'Neill looks just like her sister, just slightly more filled out because she's a bantamweight. And then Battle Arena goes down March 19th in Birmingham, England. We got an atomweight bout, Haley Valentine taking on Dalia Moka. So we're finally starting to see some more ladies action going on over there in the British Isles. And then we have a UFC Fight Night scheduled for May 21st. The main event is going to be a bantamweight bout. Holly Holm taking on Ketlin Vieira. So I made a video about that the other day. If you want to go check that out after the show. But I think that's going to be a good one. A very pivotal bout in the top 5 of the bantamweight division there. Honestly, this is a fight I would have figured to have happened a while ago. But Vieira, she's come up short in some fights. But it's finally going to go down. And then Hexagon MMA 3 goes down February 26th in, I believe, Paris. They added a flyweight bout. Letitia Blatt taking on Carla Benitez. So more action going down in France. I'll tell you what, the French MMA scene, you know, they only got legalized, I think, last year. But we've had Aries, we've had Hexagon, we've had Bellator is going to be putting on an event there. The French MMA scene is going to be taking off soon. And the ladies have been a big part of it so far. I can skip that one. That's this weekend. PFL Challengers goes down March 4th. And I already named the participants earlier, but they've picked out the fights. We're going to have Martina Jindrova taking on Jacqueline Cavalcanti, Jackie Cataline taking on Evelyn Martins, Julia Dorney taking on Jesslyn Michelle, and Michelle Montague taking on Olivia Parker. All of those fights, all 4, are going to be in the ladies' lightweight division. Although most of these ladies have fought below lightweight, safe to say. Then we have a UFC Fight Night scheduled for April 30th. They've added a strawweight bout, Jessica Penny taking on Luana Pinheiro. A couple of the fighters at the lower end of the rankings there at strawweight. And then UFC has a fight night scheduled for June 4th. They added a flyweight bout, Poliana Botelho taking on Karini Silva. So that'll be Silva's UFC debut. She won on last year's Contender Series. And then Deep Jewels 36 goes down 12th March in Tokyo. They have added the flyweight quarterfinals for the Flyweight Grand Prix. Rin Nakai taking on Shoko Fujita. Shizuka Sugiyama taking on Mikiko Hayama. Hanako Sawa taking on Aoi Kuriyama. And Hanano Kagaya taking on TA. I actually just finished recording a separate video for that. I'm scheduling it for sometime tomorrow morning. It took me a while to get it done, but I got it. So keep an eye out for that video. And then some more UFC news. Strawweight Mallory Martin has been removed from the UFC roster. She had some bad luck there, but so probably bounce back some in Invicta or LFA or a promotion like that. And then keeping with UFC news, we have a fight night scheduled for 21st May, and they added a strawweight bout. Tabitha Hichi taking on Poliana Viana. That should be a good one between a pair of Brazilian ladies. And then Bellator London goes down May 13th. They added a flyweight bout. Kate Jackson taking on Alina Calianado. First time for Kate Jackson to fight in quite a while. She hasn't fought since she lost, I believe, since she failed in a title challenge against Alimale McFarlane. And Alimale McFarlane lost the title over a year ago. So that tells you how long ago it's been since Kate Jackson fought in Bellator. And then Alina Calianado is actually coming off of her first win in Bellator. It's like her 4th fight in Bellator, and then she finally picked up a win. That's good tea. And then Octagon 31 goes down later this month, February 26th. They have had some changes. Unfortunately, Cornelia Holm and Olga Rubin have had to drop out of their fights due to injury. So their opponents, Lucia Pudilova and Priscilla De Souza, are now going to fight each other. Pudilova was supposed to fight Olga Rubin, and Cornelia Holm was supposed to fight De Souza. But now we went from 2 fights to 1 fight, unfortunately. But still, it should be a good one. I just hope De Souza doesn't come in and, try to lay and pray like she did against Rubin. And then Georgian FC number 15 goes down February 16th. That's Georgian is in the country, Georgia, not the state. They have added a strawweight bout, Sofia Bagishvili taking on Tanzala Imanli. And then last bit of news coming out of the UFC, and Bipolar Express just mentioned it. The UFC is targeting a strawweight bout between Angela Hill and Verna Jandiroba for a fight night currently scheduled for May 14th. So that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would, but that was your news for this week. It's actually the last 2 weeks, really. A lot of news coming out. So next up, we've got some fights going on this weekend. Before that, let's talk about the rankings here. So actually, now let's go this way. There we go. The big one to keep an eye out on is in the UFC Flyweight Rankings. We've got number 12, Roxy Modafferi, taking on number 15, Casey O'Neill. Big chance for Casey O'Neill to move up the rankings, 3 whole spots possibly, if she should win. But also, it's going to be Modafferi's last fight. So no matter what happens, that's going to be someone who come Monday is going to be removed from the rankings, and then going to have at least 2 people moving up. So that is it for your rankings update. So let's move into this weekend's fights. Let me pull Tapology back up here. So first up, tomorrow morning in the U.S. or later today if you're over there in Asia, we have one championship, Bad Blood. We have, 2 bouts in the one championship atomweight division, which is 115 pounds. First up, we have Lin Hajin taking on B. Nguyen. So we got Lin coming in at 14-3-1, Nguyen coming in at 6-7. Both ladies are coming off a loss. Lin to Ritu Phogat 6 months ago, Nguyen to Jenilyn Olsen 5 months ago. Both had wins before that. Nguyen is the elder fighter, 32-28, and Lin Hajin is going to have a nice reach advantage here. 5 feet 6 inches, 167 centimeters, to 4 feet 11 inches, 150 centimeters for B. Nguyen. I think that if Lin can use her height and reach properly, then she should be able to outwork B from the outside. If she lets B get on the inside, she could be in for a long night. And B straight up said, like, she knows that Lin has a bit of a weak ground game, and she's already looking to exploit that. So that's going to be B's plan. My personal pick, this is a tough one. You know what? I'm going to go with B. Nguyen to win this one. She's been in there with overall tougher competition than Lin has. And like every time I've seen Lin try to step up competition even just a little bit, she's come across with losses. So I'm going to go with Lin, or B. Nguyen, to win this one. Staying with the one atomweight division, we have a bout Mei Yamaguchi taking on Gian Radzuan. Now, okay, Topology did finally update this. Vivi May coming in at 21-13-1, huge experience advantage because Shadowcat Gian is going to be coming in with a record of 6-2. Yamaguchi has lost her last two over the past 2 years. First to Denise Sambawanga, and then to Julie Meza Barba. That one was 5 months ago. Radzuan's coming on off of a win a year ago over B. Nguyen. Before that, had suffered a loss to Denise Sambawanga. That was 2 years ago. Youth is on the side of Gian Radzuan. She is 23 to Yamaguchi's 39 years. So Yamaguchi, no spring chicken. Gian's coming in with the height advantage, 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters to 5 feet even, 153 centimeters for Yamaguchi. So Yamaguchi is a short notice opponent. She took this fight on like a week's notice. Radzuan was supposed to be facing, I want to say, Jenilyn Olsen, I believe. Yes, Jenilyn Olsen. Olsen got injured, I believe, or COVID, something like that. So this will be an interesting one. Mostly because, the question has been on people's minds lately, is Yamaguchi over the hill? I mean, she's lost her last two, whereas before that, her only losses in one championship had come to the current champ, Angela Lee. And then on the other hand, you got Radzuan, who was looking like a bit of, like a serious prospect for a while. And then she took a couple losses there to Gina Inyong. Lost split one there and then got decisioned by Denise Sambawanga. Really, she was Denise Sambawanga's first win over an opponent with a winning record. So this will be an interesting one. Stylistically, it's been a long time since I watched either of them fight, so I'll admit. As a fan, I'm on the Yamaguchi gang, but I think Radzuan's going to take it. She trained for this bout. She was ready. She was training, whereas Yamaguchi's coming in short notice. Radzuan has the youth on her side, so I'm going to go with Gian Radzuan, but I'll be cheering for Yamaguchi. A couple of comments here. Conference Chicanery's in the house. Says War Roxy, hope she goes out on a W for number 50. Also said Killer B looked in killer shape at the weigh-ins. Her new training regimen seems to be paying off. Yeah, I think she's at Extreme Couture. And also said Shadowcat likely the favorite, but VV won't want to take another L and will be ready to go all out. I think so too. So that's one championship on Friday. Saturday, we've got a few events. First up, we have Coastal Combat I believe this is number 10, going down in Australia. We have a pro ladies flyweight bout. Nicole Seppisberry taking on, I can't remember this. I'm not really prepared for this one. Kiriakou. Nicole Seppisberry taking on Lisa Kiriakou. Unfortunately, they haven't updated the event page on Tapology, so I can't give you any stats for this one. But be aware that this one's going on. A couple of flyweight prospects there down in Australia. Good to see Australian MMA still going on as well, with what's going on down there, COVID-wise. Then we have some MMA going on over there in Espana. X03 Redemption taking place on Saturday. We have a strawweight bout. Melissa Dennis taking on Aitana Alvarez. And again, unfortunately, no stats available on Tapology, so we'll just have to skip this one. But keep an eye out for that one. I can't see. Oh, this is going to be on Twitch if you want to check this event out. I think there's two ladies bouts scheduled for this event. So you can look up XOC on Twitch if you want to watch this one. That's that little, where am I at here? That's that little symbol right down there. And then, of course, the main event for this weekend is UFC 271 on the prelims. We have Roxanne Modafferi taking on King Casey O'Neill in the flyweight division. Taking a look at the stats here, the Happy Warrior Roxanne coming in at 25-19. Excuse me, King Casey coming in at 8-0. So big experience advantage for Modafferi, and we'll talk about that in a second. Modafferi riding a 2-fight skid here, losing to Viviane Araújo a year ago, and then most recently losing to Tyler Santos 4 months ago. O'Neill's undefeated and had a heck of a year last year. Fought 3 times in the UFC and finished all 3 of opponents. She TKO'd Shanna Dobson, submitted Lara Procopio, and then TKO'd Antonina Shevchenko, and that was 4 months ago. Youth favors O'Neill. She's 24 to Modafferi's 39. Modafferi slightly taller, 5 feet 7 inches, 170 centimeters to King Casey's 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters. Both have an identical reach, though, 69 inches, 175 centimeters. So before I continue, I just want to, we've got several people watching. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. This is going to be a good fight. I think this is going to be a good one. Because Casey doesn't quite have the stand-up that tends to give Modafferi troubles. Both do their best work on the ground. Now, I would say stand-up-wise, it actually favors Modafferi. She doesn't do good at range because of her nearsightedness. But Modafferi, she has good basics in the striking. I mean, like good basics, good fundamentals. She doesn't go for anything like too fancy. She keeps it simple. And her striking, it works for her. You can see that she has the fundamentals down. She has that like herky-jerky kind of style where she like goes in and out. And it works for her. It allows her to get in close, get to the clinch, and then work for her takedowns. And that's the same thing O'Neill's going to look to do here. Both fighters do their best work on the ground. Modafferi, sometimes, she has a tendency to just stay on the bottom a little bit too long, which I'm not a big fan of. And it's definitely going to hurt her against O'Neill because O'Neill does good work on top. I think a big thing to pay attention to this fight is that, the type of fighters that give Modafferi the most trouble are skilled fighters who are like really naturally athletically gifted, like the athletic hulking types, like Tyler Santos or Araújo. O'Neill's not that. I mean, on the ground, she's good. Doesn't have the striking quite down on the feet. And she's not like the super big athletic type. So I think this fight's going to be really close. This is definitely a passing of the torch fight. Roxanne Modafferi is going out, passing the torch on to the new generation of O'Neill. For the good of the division, you really want O'Neill to win. I'm gonna go with Modafferi to win this one, and I hope that's not me being nostalgic. I hope that's not me being a Roxy fan, because I'm an O'Neill fan too. I like both fighters. I like both ladies. That no matter what, no matter who wins, the result is going to be bittersweet, at least for me, because if you hate to see like a pioneer like Modafferi go out on a loss, even though that's usually what happens when fighters retire. They usually end up going out on a loss, especially when they already have one foot out the door. Like Modafferi said, this is my last fight, so she has one foot out the door. You hate to see Modafferi go out on a loss, but you also hate to see O'Neill, who just had a great year last year in her first year in the UFC. You hate to see her take a loss too, especially to someone who is then leaving the division, which then leaves O'Neal kind of like stuck where she's at. So for the good of the division, you want to see O'Neal win, but I'm going to go with Modafferi here. And it's funny because both of these fighters get a lot of hate. O'Neal, she's talking a little bit of trash going into this fight, which, hey, she's young. She's trying to make a name for herself. You got to talk a little bit of trash. And it's funny because you got the people that say, oh, none of these fighters ever talk. And then as soon as a fighter does, then they hate on the fighter for doing that. It's weird. And then you got like the contingent of people that just want to discredit Casey O'Neal for her results last year. Mostly it's the same people that are pushing Manon Fiorot as the future of the division. Personally, I think they're both the future of the division. So you got the Sour Grapes Manon fanboys that are hating on O'Neal and saying, O'Neal's not the rookie of the year, Fiorot is. Whatever. Then you got like the contingency of people that just absolutely hate on Modafferi, always have, and just can't stop. And I think those people are just kind of sad and weird. I mean, how can you hate on someone who's just so positive and has done, a lot to try to improve the image of the sport? And that's what Modafferi does. I mean, she's smart. She's a nerd. She's funny. How do you hate Modafferi? Those people are sad. Those people have a hole in their soul. Man, I'm really thirsty tonight. I don't know what it is. So we'll go with Roxy Modafferi to win at UFC 271. So that is it for the weekend preview. So I do have a conversation topic tonight. Let me bring up, it's in a separate folder. I want to talk about the Strawweight division because I gotta admit, I've been watching, I keep my eye on, the flow and the pace of what's going on MMA social media and YouTube. And one thing I'm noticing is that the Strawweight division is not getting a lot of love lately. It's like almost all of the focus, or most of it, seems to be on the Flyweight division. And it's like, I get it. There's some fun and exciting stuff going on over there in the Strawweight or in the Flyweight division. But hey, the Strawweight division is still where it's at right now. It is still the deepest division. Excuse me. I think it's still probably the most competitive division. I think for whatever reason, it's just not getting the limelight that it was for, a while. But I'm here tonight to put some light back on the UFC Strawweight division. So we're going to go over the entire top 15, talk about what they've been up to and what they're going to be doing next, and talk about, where they need to go to move up and down the division. So first up, let's start with the champ, Rose Namajunas. Had a good year last year. She came out, challenged Weili Zhang for the title, knocked her out in the first round, defended it against Zhang again, and won the rematch via, I believe, split decision. So she had a good year last year. Now she is most likely facing number 2 ranked Carla Esparza. However, the date for this fight hasn't been set. So who knows when it's going to be. I hope it's sometime soon because Esparza hasn't fought in almost a year. It's already February. So let's hurry up and get this fight booked already. And you got number 1 ranked, the former champ, Zhang Weili Zhang. She's coming off of 2 straight losses to Rose Namajunas last year in 2021. Unfortunately, she does not have a fight set yet. So we'll see. Possibly going to be facing Joanna Jędrzejczyk next. in the rematch? Don't know yet, though. So keeping on moving, we got number 2 ranked Carla Esparza. Esparza is currently on a 5-fight winning streak. And of course, we already talked about she's most likely challenging for the title next against Rose Namajunas in a fight that hasn't been dated yet, or they haven't announced it officially yet. Conference chicanery in the chat says a good chance Cookie Monster takes that belt. Who gets the number 1 contender position, and who's fighting next for the challenger spot? Well, it's good thing you asked, because let's bring that up next. So next up, we have number 3 ranked Marina Rodriguez. Rodriguez is on a 3-fight winning streak, which is very nice. All 3 of those wins came in 2021, so she had a heck of a year last year. And she actually has a fight booked yet against number 4 ranked Yan Xiaonan. That's going down at UFC number 272 on March 3rd, so less than a month away. I think whoever wins the Namajunas Esparza fight is going to face the winner of this fight. Because I think the winner of this bout will be the next number 1 contender. Because Rodriguez is on a 3-fight winning streak. She's number 3. If she wins, she'll be on a 4-fight winning streak. Whereas Yan, she is coming off that loss to Esparza. But if she can beat Marina Rodriguez and snap that 3-fight winning streak, that is going to do big things for her profile. Plus, there's no way the UFC is going to deny a chance for another Chinese fighter to get at that title because they want that China money. So number 4, Yan Xiaonan, like I said, she's coming off that loss, TKO loss to Carla Esparza, and that snapped an 11-fight winning streak that dates back almost 10 years, something like that, way before she debuted in the UFC. And we already mentioned that her next fight is going to be against number 3 ranked Marina Rodriguez. So that's just the top 5 fighters in the division, the champ and the top 4. We've already got fights. Well, we've got 1 fight that is basically booked. They just haven't announced the date yet. We've got a number 1 contender bout. We've got a former champ waiting on her next fight announcement. So now we move to number 5, Mackenzie Dern. So Dern is coming off of a decision loss to Marina Rodriguez back on October 9th last year. Before that, I think she had a 3-fight winning streak going, 3 or 4. And then she actually already has a fight booked. She's going to be taking on number 7th ranked Tecia Torres. That's going to go down on UFC 273 on April 9th. So that should be a darn good one. You know, you've got the grappler Dern taking on the tiny tornado, the striker, Tecia Torres. I think that's going to be a good fight. Good test for Dern and a chance for Torres to break into the top 5. She's always been, you know, just outside the top 5, pretty much since the founding of the division. So we'll see. Next, we have number 6 ranked Nina Nunes Ansaroff. Her last fight, she took a loss to Mackenzie Dern in April of 2021. So she's coming up on a year of inactivity. And she's on a 2-fight skid going back to 2019. Of course, she had that long layoff. She had a kid and then took some time off because of that. She was supposed to fight Amanda Lemos back in December and pulled out of that. Honestly, not sure what her current status is. So right now, she is like the lone dud so far out of the, 7 fighters I mentioned so far. Like the lone dud. We have no idea what she's doing, when she's fighting next. Pulled out of her last scheduled bout on a 2-fight losing skid. So hopefully we'll see some more activity. She either needs to take a freaking fight already or start considering retirement. I think that Nina has 1 foot out the door already. Then we move to number 7 ranked Tecia Torres. Already mentioned her earlier. She's going to be fighting Mackenzie Dern. on, was it December or April? 9th April, UFC 273. Torres is on a 3-fight win streak right now. She was on a skid for a while. She was losing to pretty much. I mean, she lost to Zan, she lost to Andrade, she lost to Rodriguez, she lost to Jacek. She did pick up a win over Michelle Watterson that was mixed in there, but she was on a skid for a while there. Just could not beat the top contenders of the division. And now she's on a 3-fight winning streak. First time for a while for her. And if she can beat Duran, she'll crack the top 5. So this could be a pivotal year for Tecia Torres in her career. Then we move on to 8th ranked Michelle Watterson. Now Watterson, coming off the loss to number 3 ranked Marina Rodriguez last May. And sorry, I lost my place. She's actually lost 3 of her last 4. She's in that same spot Torres was, where she's been facing some really tough top competition and just falling short. I mean, she lost to Rodriguez. She lost to Yana Jacek. I think that Torres loss might be mixed in there. But she actually does have a fight booked. She's going to be facing 9th ranked Amanda Ribas at a fight night scheduled for March 26th. So that moves us right down into number 9, Amanda Ribas, the WMMA scene breakout fighter of 2020. Ribas, last fight, she took a decision win over number 11th ranked Verna Jandiroba. And like I said, she's scheduled to fight Watterson on 26 March. So Ribas needs to keep winning here. She took a hard loss when she got knocked out by Marina Rodriguez. And I mean, she was really on the rise. She was fast rising through the division. And then she basically ran into the fist of Marina Rodriguez. Did not look good in that. I mean, she dominated the first round of that fight. And then went out there and, she has a bad habit of fighting really sloppy on the feet and leaving herself open. That could be bad for her against Watterson. On the ground, I think they're about even. On the feet, if she fights sloppy like she did against Rodriguez, I think Watterson could hurt her. So that should be an interesting one. The Blue Dash in the chat. Welcome back, Blue Dash. Says Torres is booked against Duran, huh? Interesting fight. Yeah, Torres and Duran are going to be facing off. So then we move on to the number 10 spot, Amanda Lemos. Lemos is on a 5-fight winning streak. She lost her UFC debut at bantamweight to Leslie Smith. And she's on a 5-fight winning streak since then. Since coming down to strawweight. Now she's coming. Her last fight, she took a split decision win over Angela Hill. Very contentious decision win as well. She is next scheduled to fight the number 1 ranked flyweight, Jessica Andrade, in a strawweight bout on April 23rd. And that's going to be a 5-round main event as well. So you got Lemos taking on the former strawweight champion and current number 1 ranked flyweight at a strawweight bout, 5-round main event. This is going to be a good one. I think it's either going to be Lemos via early stoppage, or Andrade's later stoppage, or Andrade's decision. That's what I'm thinking. I think this is going to be a good fight though. These two are going to be looking to hurt each other. But Lemos, she doesn't react well to being pressured. We saw, Hill pressure her in their fight, and she gassed out. Whereas, Andrade, we know she doesn't gas out. Granted, we've only seen her go to the 5th round once, and that was a while ago. But we know that she has the tank to go for days. So that's going to be an interesting one. Now we move to the number 11 spot, Verna Jandiroba. Now she's coming off of a decision loss to number 9th ranked Amanda Ribas back in October of last year. And I have here that Well, I wrote these notes down last week. I had that she was unscheduled. However, she does have a fight booked. She's going to be taking on Angela Hill, number 12th ranked Angela Hill. And that's going to go down on a UFC Fight Night on May 14th. So number 11 is going to be taking on number 12. I like that kind of matchup. You know, it's a chance for each of them to, well, for Jandiroba, it's a chance to keep her spot. For Hill, it's a chance to move up. Hill still has not gotten that first ranked win in the UFC. Just always falling short in wins against ranked fighters. So then you got number 12th ranked Angela Hill. Like I said, she's on a 2-fight skid. Last fight took that split decision loss to Amanda Lemos. We'll have to see how she does against Jandiroba. Then we got number 13, Jessica Penney. So Penney, after a long layoff due to a dispute with USADA, suspension and then dispute with them, she came back last year, picked up 2 wins. Her last fight was a submission win over Karolina Kowalkiewicz in August of last year. Now, she was scheduled to face number 15th ranked Luana Pinheiro in November. Had to withdraw from that bout. However, that bout has been rescheduled, and it's going to go down on April 30th. So you got number 13 taking on number 15. That goes down April 30th at a UFC Fight Night. That should be a good fight. I think Pinheiro is going to be able to get the fight to the ground. However, when she gets it to the ground, she's also in Jessica Penney's territory, and I think that's where the fight is going to get really interesting. So we have number 14th ranked Brianna Van Buren. Why Brianna Van Buren is ranked, I have no idea. I have no idea why she is ranked at all. Period. Just period. I mean, she's 1-1 in the UFC. Her last fight was a decision loss to Tecia Torres, and that was in June of 2020. So she hasn't fought in well over a year and a half. It's coming up on 2 years of inactivity. Now, according to her social media, she's coming back this year. We'll see. We'll see. But as of right now, she doesn't have a fight booked. She's one of those, she fought in 2020 and then got pregnant, had a kid, took all of last year off. We'll see if she actually comes back this year. Why she's ranked right now, I have no clue. And then number 15 is Luana Pinheiro. She's currently 2-0 in the UFC. Her last fight, she picked up a decision win over Sam Hughes. And like I said, she's scheduled to face 13th ranked Jessica Penney on April 30th. Be a good chance for her to really break into the top 15. Like right now, she's at 15, but this is her chance to really break into the rankings. So that is the current state of the strawweight division. So as of last week, it was looking like a fairly inactive division, but now we've got more fighters have picked up some fights. So I think everybody, but let's see, we got Nina Nunes. I think everybody but Zan, Nina Nunes, and Brianna Van Buren are either booked or in discussion for fights coming up. So that was really good because as of last week, there was a lot of inactivity going on when I was going to discuss this last week and then end up canceling the stream. But I'm actually, things are looking up now because they booked a few more fights. So now we've got, 12 of the top 15 plus the champ are either booked or, in line to have a fight. So that's going to be very good. I gotta be honest, I like the state of the division so far. You got a champ who fought twice last year. has a fight coming up as soon as they announce the date. So we have a number one contender. We've got a fight to decide the next top contender. And we've got some more fights going on within the top 10 to, keep the division moving. And even in that 10 to 15 spot, most of the fighters are booked now. So I think things are really looking up for the strawweight division. I don't know why people aren't talking about it as much as they used to. I guess the glamour division right now is the flyweight division. Personally, I still think it's the strawweights. Not to say that there's nothing going on in the flyweight division. I just think that as far as like the actual depth of the division goes, the competitiveness and just overall level, the strawweight division is still where it's at, guys. It's all about the strawweights. It has been for years now, and I think it's going to be for a long time to come. Anyway, that's really what I wanted to talk about tonight, was just the overall state of the division. And over the past couple of days with some fights announced, it's gotten even better. I'm really excited about what 2022 has in store for the strawweight division. Conference chicanery in the chat says, depending who she's matched against, Watterson is a title shot dark horse. Hebus would be a top 5 W. Another quality W plus a few strategic L's in front of her equals potential title bout. She's highly marketable. Yeah, Hebus is definitely marketable. And so is Watterson, for both of them for different reasons. But yeah, a win for either of those two would be good for the division. So, but I like a lot of the fights coming up. You got Jan versus Rodriguez is going to be a striking fans delight. Hebus versus Watterson. Torres versus Dern. Those are going to be good. Lemos versus Andrade. Oh man, if that fight goes to decision, I'm going to be really disappointed, because there's no way that fight shouldn't end in a finish. That's going to be a good fight. Even towards the bottom end of the division, Jandiroba versus Hill should be good. Penny versus Pinheiro. I think that'll be a good test for Pinheiro. I mean, Penny's no spring chicken, but she can still hold her own. We saw that against when she took on the younger, what's her face? Lupita Godinez, Loopy. So I'll tell you what, strawweight, it's in a great state right now. And I think that 2022, just within the first 6 months, we got some good fights going on in this division. I'm really excited. Hopefully they announce the Namajunas versus Esparza fight, like the actual date for it soon. Because, I mean, it's all but a done deal. It's just a matter of getting a date decided and getting both fighters to sign. And of course, we know with Rose, she's probably the one holding off on it, because that's what Namajunas likes to do. She likes to get those long training camps in. She was fighting. She trains, does long specific camps where she makes it to around her opponents, which is smart. That's how a training camp, or excuse me, that's how a fight camp should go. You tailor your whole fight camp around your next opponent. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I didn't want to go too long tonight. I never do like to go too long on these streams. Otherwise, it's just blabbing back on and on endlessly. Conference chicanery in chat says Panda, meaning Xiong Jinan, just as valid as whoever holds the UFC belt at strawweight. The people demand that clash. Nah. Xiong's a good fighter, but she does not have the top quality wins. She just doesn't. I disagree. I love watching her fight. I do. But she just does not have the quality of wins that, most of the top 10 at UFC do. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I'm tired. I got to hit the bed. Let me know your thoughts. Wait, before I go, you hit the like button And don't forget to subscribe to WMMAC Now, the best and most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.